What is up, everyone? So it's like 120 heat index today, so I've got all the fans and AC going and everything, but we got some pretty cool bikes yesterday. These are two 1976 Honda CB750As, so they're the Honda-matic automatic transmissions. You just got, I think, a low and a drive, yeah, or something like that, but I really don't know. I've never owned one of the Honda-matics, the automatic Hondas, so I don't know what to expect from these things, but have been able to turn them over, make sure that they're freed up. They do have little kickstarters on them, so you just pull this little thing off here. May not be able to do this with one hand. Okay, there we go. Kick that up and can hear doing some compression things, so everything sounds good. This one right here, very low mileage, 5,601 on the odometer there. This one is a little higher, as you can see, about 4 times higher, 22,966. So this one does not have a title. It was bought as a parts bike for this bike right here. So as you can tell, this one has got kind of a cafe racer style look to it. They were actually building this to be a drag bike. It's got a lot of goodies on it. We got a lot of extra spare parts over here that I'll go over, but from what I was told, 836cc overbore with Wiseco pistons. Cylinder head was sent to a machine shop, so I don't know if they maybe decked the head and the jugs on this thing or not to raise the compression ratio. Not 100% sure about that, but F-style cams, so from a Super Sport, and then stainless valves, retainers, and springs, I suppose. It wasn't very clear on what exactly all was stainless or not stainless or whatever, but bronze valve guides. So this thing has been really gone through, set up to be a drag bike. I think it may have an extended swing arm or a longer swing arm off of a different bike, because there is this swing arm right here that came in the box of goodies. So this one should be pretty rowdy of a bike. Something really cool about it also is it's got these CR special carbs. These were made specifically for Honda Racing Performance Division, and very pricey carburetors. So the price we paid for both of these bikes, it was a really good deal with all the work that's been done just to this one alone. I have also put the kick starter on this one, turned it over, it turns over nice and free. So yeah, this one is mostly just stock. It's not in horrible condition as far as patina and stuff goes on all the tins and everything. I mean, there is some damage here on the tank, a little dent there, a little paint chip there, some rips in the seat there, but overall not horrible. It does have a 4-in-1 exhaust that I think was like retrofitted onto this thing. I don't know. It does have a Honda part number on it and the name right there. Yeah, it says CB750F. So this must have came off of a F model 750 that they retrofitted onto this bike. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one. One thing I'm kind of not sure why they didn't do was it's still got the points on it. So I don't know, me personally, I would switch it over to a Dynatech electronic ignition system. They're 80 to 120 bucks, something like that. They're not super expensive, and they're a lot more reliable than points. Not that points are hard to deal with. It's pretty easy to set the dwell and timing and all that stuff with the points, but they're just more reliable with the electronic pickups on them. So basically the story behind this one was it was set up as a drag bike. They went to set it back up as a street bike, hooked the headlight up to it, and it melted some wires. I've already looked through a bunch of the wiring and not seen any melted wires. I did take the bucket off of it last night and noticed that there was a couple of pins, like the barrel connectors, that were not completely seated. They were a little bit loose, so that could have caused a loose connection. And if we take a real close look at these tube style fuses right here, this one looks a little bit burnt. That one right there, and then that one right there. So the tail section and the headlight fuse, they're really wavy, so that it's possible that they lost contact with the solder points on the insides of that with the link there. So solution to that will be the same as what we did with the CB550 that I had, ATO style fuse block. The cool thing about these fuse blocks is they will actually bolt up to the back portion of this stock fuse block on these CBs. So we'll be switching those over to newer fuses. We may do that in this video. See if we can get some fuel thrown at this thing. I'll clean up the points, see if we can get spark out of it after we get power going to it. And I'll probably have to take this tail section off to be able to get my jump pack on there because this battery is dead. So yeah, we'll just kind of start working on this thing, see what we can get done with it, and go from there. But I'm pretty excited to see how this thing runs and rides with all the work that's been done to it already. And we may end up doing a little bit of our own kind of custom work with it at some point in time. One thing I don't like about the tail section on the seat here is this big gap right here. So I could potentially 3D print a little insert to go in there, fill in that gap there. That way it just doesn't look quite so awkward there. But we do have the cover for the ignition points cover. We got the stock carbs in here, an extra set of jugs. There's a cylinder head, there's another cylinder head, another valve cover, swing arm, like 3 sets of bars. I think this is a factory accelerator pump on the carbs there. Another factory front brake master cylinder, and then a big box of brand new goodies here. So the previous owner bought a brand new harness for it. Lots of gaskets and seals. I think this is a new fuse block that we won't be utilizing. New front brake master cylinder because the piston is seized up on that one that's on it. And then I suppose they are going to put this fairing on the bike as well, but I don't think I'll be doing that because that thing is ungodly big and not very good looking. But yeah, also do have a service manual in case we need that, which we more than likely will at some point when you go to do the timing and stuff on this thing. So yeah, let's just quit talking about it, be about it, get some work done on this thing. Alrighty, so everything kind of escalated pretty quickly here. As you can see, got some tools chaotically organized and all of the bits and pieces all over the ground there. I kind of lay things out in the order that I took them off, and they need to go back on for the most part. So I really don't like this seat pan design here because of the bar clamps that they use. They have these little Allens right here, and those bolts up top got seized up in those little bar clamps. So maybe redesigning some clamps for that seat pan, possibly even the seat pan altogether, not too sure. But had to take the battery box out to be able to get that off of there, to get to all this wiring and stuff, to be able to get it out, because I did identify the burnt wire the person I bought this off of was talking about. You can see right here, this is a melted wire. That shiny bit right there comes all the way up and comes to this little intersection right here, goes up into this part of the harness as well. So this main green wire right here, the big one, is part of the tail light harness, and trace it all the way up to the front here. You can see it's burnt up right there. So whenever I was disassembling everything, I noticed that there was this little harness back here that is for the turn signals, and none of that was hooked up. Those barrel terminals there were actually just like dangling around. So those could have shorted out together. If the tail light and the turn signal circuit is all tied together, then that could have caused a short and melted that wire out. So that's a potential possibility there. We do have a green wire also going to the stator plug, but the stator plug on the harness side for the green wires looks fine. So I don't think that's the issue, but I'll take my multimeter out. We'll check right here where you can see the exposed copper wire, and just check for continuity on this big green wire here, see if that was the cause of the problem or if it was one of the green wires going to the stator, and go from there with it. We'll also check the resistance on the stator, see if there's anything wrong with that. If it's out of spec, that the service manual says. Then we'll check the resistance values on the stator on this bike, see if we need to swap those out. But you can see right here, this is the plug that got melted up on the other bike. This big green main wire right here is the one that goes back to the tail light section, and as you can see, there's more green wires going to the turn signals. So I'm pretty certain that the power supply for the tail light and the turn signals is tied together. So another thing that could have caused this potentially would be a bad turn signal switch. I've seen that before. One of my buddy's bikes, it was a Suzuki Bandit 600. Same thing happened to him. He had a bad turn signal switch, headlight assembly switch, and it burnt up a wire and his harness going all the way back to the main fuse. So yeah, we will investigate, try to diagnose exactly what part of the circuit caused this issue. Then we'll get this new harness on there and kind of go from there with it after we do a little bit of testing on everything. Okay, so 2 hours later, something like that. Got the harness swapped out. It's all routed the way it should be. There is a few things like blinkers, headlight needs to be plugged in. Check the resistance on the field coil and the stator, the whole generator assembly. Everything was pretty close to being within spec. The carbs, I don't think they're tuned quite right, but we got fuel going to them. They don't seem to be leaking, so let's see what we could do. I just burnt the crap out of my wrist. Okay. Alright, so it is doing stuff. Man, that really burnt the crap out of my wrist. Ow. I noticed one of the spark plug wires was loose. Oh man. Ow. So let's see if she's hitting on all cylinders here now. Yeah, number 2 is slowly coming alive. That's the spark plug wire that just like wasn't even hooked up for some reason. So that's good, but it's getting smoky in the shop. I gotta turn the paint booth fan on. So we'll be going through carbs on this thing for sure, just to verify that we're getting good fuel flow in the pilot circuit, slow jet circuit, whatever you want to call it, and all that good stuff. May end up trading the XJ here for another CB actually, but I think that's gonna do it for this video. We've got a pretty cool little project here that not really sure what we're gonna do with just yet, but anyway, if you guys like the video, please hit thumbs up, helps me out a lot. Any questions, comments, concerns, leave those down below. If you feel like I earned your subscription today, go ahead and tap on that sub button down there, and I'll see you all in the next one.